Good morning from the beautiful Bajina Bašta here in Serbia, in the foothills of the Tara Mountains. Fun fact for you all, Bajina Bašta means beautiful garden, and that is exactly what it is. It is the beautiful garden of the mountains, and we are actually staying in a place with a beautiful garden. We're staying here at the brick apartments, which is behind me, and this is all of the grounds here. It's like an actual house. It is so beautiful. You have a little chill out area here with the sofa and the TV. You have a massive garden. The bus station is a 2-minute walk away, and you have the amazing views of the mountains. We are seeing some of the most famous things to see here in Bajina Bašta today, and we're actually meeting with Ranko, who works for the Tara Mountains National Park. So I'm sure we will have lots of information to give to you all, but I'm so tired. It's so early. We've got to get going.
How amazing is this? It really does feel like you're staying at Ivan's house. Well, you are, right? We are staying at Ivan's house. It is behind our apartment. It's the only apartment in here, so you really are, you're living together, right? It's amazing. They're going to build a swimming pool out here for the summer. You've got Ivan's dog there in his amazing bed. His house is pretty much like an apartment, right? It's massive. They're doing like a shower room there. You've got the barbecue, chill out area, which is beautiful. You've got his allotments. You really are in like a local town village. I just love the feel of this place, but we'll show the room later. You would think because you're in a tiny village town, it'd be traditional, but it's so modern. If you come to Bajina Bašta, you're basically coming here for the nature, the surrounding areas, the Tara Mountains, the Drina River, and we are with an expert. Look, we've even got Tara on the car, but we have come to our first stop, which is the Raka Monastery, about 5 kilometers from the town, but one of the main sites that you've got to see here in the area.
There is so much history about this monastery, but so much that I could not explain. So Ranko is going to explain everything that you need to know about this monastery, because there is so much to know. Can you just tell us the main points of this monastery, because I know there's so much to know.
The Raka Monastery is quite interesting and, let's say, important place for us in Serbia. It is a monastery from 13th century, and it was probably one of the most important centers of Serbian medieval literacy. So it was a big center of book copywriting. Today we have about 10 monks.
10 monks.
And they actually now taking care about all that history of monastery, and now it is, let's say, touristic place with a lot of visitors under the normal conditions.
We haven't even been in yet, and the location here is incredible. You're in the foothills of the Tara Mountains. You have the Raka River flowing behind us, and that is actually what the monastery was named after, and the small village stroke town that you've got here. It's just such an incredible... Look, got chickens going on behind me. The location is just so picturesque. You're, I don't know, 5 minutes from Tara. We've just come up into the monastery, and it is so peaceful. There's a small museum that you can go around and see. You would definitely need a guide, because everything in there is in Cyrillic. You've got the church behind me, and then behind that you have the old bell tower. We're actually the only ones here at the moment, and there's obviously the monks that are staying here walking past, and on the side of the church we've actually got, it's like a memorial to those that lost their life in the Balkan War and the First World War.
We aren't the biggest history buffs, however, thanks to Ranko, we do know quite a lot about this monastery, and I think it's pretty cool. It was actually destroyed so many times in different empires, by the Ottomans, in the war. So this is the latest version of the monastery, which was built in the 1800s.
The inside's so nice.
The inside is
wow.
Crazy and very traditional. You can just smell the mustiness and see how the
frescoes
paintings.
like that.
I don't know how they would like be able to paint such detailed paintings so many years ago, but it is pretty crazy.
just walked up to a viewpoint above the monastery, and I think you can just see how isolated this place is. It is in its own little village, but really the monastery is the village. And behind me, a little bit further up, you will get to the Tara mountains. It's beautiful, like monasteries, churches, things like that. History, me and Molly, we struggle with that, but when you come to something like this and it's this beautiful, I think it just speaks for itself. So you've literally got the Tara mountains right there and the monastery here. It is so peaceful.
Such an amazing viewpoint. It's like they literally built it perfectly so that they could come up here, have a great view, and then go down there and be peacefully by
It's so
the river.
peaceful. Walking here is the river, the monks partying.
Chicken! We are back in the car now, and what is our next stop?
We are going to the one small waterfall close to the Rača monastery. It is named Lađevac.
We are back out the car and we are deep in the foothills of the Tara National Park. We're actually like on the border, so some parts where we're walking now might be classified as Tara, some not, but we are heading to the waterfall. I don't think you could drive down here. Maybe you could drive this last bit. You can hike it from the monastery. It's about an hour's hike, but we are taking the lazy route due to there being some landslides recently. And Molly isn't really appropriately dressed for hiking.
No, I forgot I've worn flares.
In your flares. Since when did you bring flares back in fashion?
This is unbelievable. It's so hidden. It's like a proper secret spot, but it just flows down the side here, all the way down into the stream, the river. And actually, if you were to take the hike that we mentioned from the monastery, you would come from this way. It is just so surreal. You are literally in the middle of the waterfall. The path goes through the waterfall, and we are the only ones here. It's like no one knows about it.
It's not quite Niagara Falls or anything like that, but I love how natural it is. Flows down into the Raka, can't say it. Rača river, and it will flow down past the monastery. I presume you can drink this. Hang on, I'm not going to drink, I'm going to fill. It's warm. It's
That's
quite
what I
warm.
said, it's
I
not
presume
that
a lot of it is where the snow's melt. No, but then if snow's melted, it should be cold. That's very warm for winter. The only problem is wearing normal trainers on a path and hike that is covered with a waterfall. So I'm like jumping over rocks, the wrong side of the barrier, with a big drop down to the river. But Molly's made it. If Molly's made it, oh, I've made it. I had to make it. If Molly's getting across in her flares, I'm definitely getting across.
I managed to make it out, even in my flares and Vans. But our next stop is in the village of Herachat, and we are looking at the smallest river in Serbia, possibly in Europe, much debated. It starts and ends with a waterfall. It is pretty cool.
We are now here next to the Vrela River, or a year-long river. So we call it actually a year-long river, and the reason for that is that the length of the river actually is 365 meters. So because of that length, that is the same number like the number of the days in the year, the river get that, let's say, nickname.
I've got Molly's sunglasses on again, but I've managed to get onto a little rock. This is about as close as you can get to the waterfall. There is like a gate, but it looks locked. It would be great to be able to like hike up above and see all the mini waterfalls. I'm taking these off, I look silly. That lead down to this and then leading further down into the Drina. It's crazy. I can literally walk down, which we're going to do in a minute, and then we are literally a river that separates us and Bosnia. We actually drove past one of the official border crossings on the way here, but it's just crazy how close the two are to each other. The town here is so nice.
The village.
Village
it's
again.
So cute. The houses were actually made for the workers that were building the dam, and now they're sort of like holiday homes, I suppose you could say, because it's a nice picturesque place to come. But we're walking the 365 meters.
You're going to be okay in your flares?
Well, there's no mud and no water right on this bit, so I think we'll be okay.
365 meters later, 1 year. The 1 year river, the smallest river in Serbia. At least you come to this beautiful restaurant. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem as if they are serving or doing anything. I was really hoping to try a traditional local rakia, but wow, what an incredible restaurant. It literally has the river flowing through it, and then at the end of the restaurant you've got these chairs here, and that is the second waterfall leading into the Drina River, and just there is Bosnia. Wow, this is like, why is this restaurant not open? Do you reckon we can knock on the window and just ask them for a rakia?
Can you let us in, please?
Or can someone like chuck one over from Bosnia? So we were actually really lucky. The restaurant across the road from the restaurant on the Drina was open, and I got kleka, which is the famous rakia from the region. It's actually a really famous distillery in Bajina Bašta, which unfortunately we can't do a tour of at the moment due to COVID, but I wanted to try this. It's basically the fruit from a type of pine tree in Tara. So you can only really get this around here. Jivili. Oh, it's got a kick. It's definitely got a kick. It's quite sweet and strong at the same time. Can it be sweet and strong? But yeah, famous in this region. Apparently this region is really famous for rakia, but you've got to try this particular type. So kleka is the most famous type of rakia you'll find in this region, right?
Yeah, this is, let's say, the brand of this region. And it is actually the plum brandy, plum rakia, with addition of juniper berries. So after the first distillation of alcohol, some amount of juniper berries is added to the plum brandy, and after the second distillation you have the final product.
And that will come from, most of them will be collected from Tara.
Yeah, from this region.
Jiveli.
Jiveli, look at the size difference.
And she tried.
That tastes so good. We are sat on the main square. We are back now in Bajina Bašta town. I have my Nishiko pivo. I'm talking like Montenegrin. I'm talking like a traditional Serbian now, but on the way back, we actually went to the tourist info centre. They gave us loads of gifts and souvenirs that we're going to open when we get back to the room.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much.
We'll also show you our room tour. We've got 2 pizzas on the way, and we're sat in the square.
It's actually so hard to find some of there, right?
It was so difficult. A lot of the restaurants are actually closed. The regulations keep changing, so we don't know what's going on, but at least we found somewhere. We have found the Zepta Hotel, which actually seems to be one of the only restaurants serving food, believe it or not. After not eating all day, the pizza was so good, but we have so many gifts to run through. First things first, at our apartment they actually got us these little masks at Brick Apartments, and also gave us these 2 Bajina Bašta bags.
Well, actually this is a little hint of what we're seeing tomorrow. If you're Serbian, you know what this is. If you're not, wait for tomorrow's video.
And then we have our gifts from, oh god, I nearly dropped them all, from the National Park, the Tara National Park.
How crazy that National Park has given us a gift.
Yeah, I know, I still can't actually believe
Forest,
it.
can you please like...
If anyone doesn't understand that, it's the New Forest back in the UK. Not as good as Tara National Park, because it's not the mountains, but We have this gorgeous mug here, so sweet and thoughtful. We have a huge Tara notebook, we have a mini notebook, a pen, and then they also gave us a few little leaflets on Tara. I do need to give you a room tour, I did promise it earlier.
Yeah, you've taken way too long. Oh, I'm the cameraman again now.
You are. So, first things first, you can see I'm putting everything on our dining table. We have a massive downstairs, that's right, we have a downstairs. So we have kitchen, you have a toilet as you walk in here, huge downstairs space with one telly, and then...
Come on up. Do you feel you're on like one of them home TV shows? I'm not running.
Watch your feet. So we have a huge upstairs. This is, I would say it's like an actual house. It's an amazing apartment with so many beds. You have a double bed, a single bed, sofa bed, TV, the wardrobe, and like...
I love this, open it up.
It's like a terrace, but if you step out, you're going straight
It's an
down.
indoor terrace.
Bit of outside, inside.
We also, of course, grabbed a couple of beers from, God, these stairs, from the shop. So, we grab these and we're gonna go and sit outside in like the barbecue, chill out TV area to end off this incredible day in Bajina Bašta. Am I getting better?
No, Bajina Bašta.
Bajina Bašta. On second thoughts, I'm definitely not going out there. It's freezing. Freezing cold. Apparently this is quite normal for this time of the year in Bajina Bašta. Molly?
Bajina Bašta.
I'm never going to be able to pronounce it. Molly just said it. Bajina Bašta. But it's like 2 degrees, which is way too cold. But it's got the lovely seating area out there with like the barbecue. It's not. I thought it was a pizza oven, but it's a pig oven apparently. So you can cook a whole pig in there. Apparently 3 whole pigs, which is a lot of pig. You don't want that much pig. But anyway, it's been an amazing day. We can't thank the Tara National Park enough for showing us around to some incredible sites. Sort of sites just outside of Tara, because we've already seen a couple of bits in there, and we have to thank Brick Apartments. This place is beautiful. The town itself, lovely, has a few nice restaurants. I definitely recommend staying here to see sights around the area and just to visit the town. The town is beautiful, but we are saving possibly the best and the main reason you come to this small little town stroke village for tomorrow. So we will see you in the next one for that. Givelli.